Hi, I'm Slavik with iDrinkCoffee.com. Today I'm presenting the Profitec Jump. The Profitec Jump is an evolution or maybe an upgrade to the Pro 400. It has the same small body, but it adds a few additional features and it also changes the aesthetic a little bit. The Profitec Jump is a compact heat exchanger espresso machine. It is an evolution of or an upgrade to the Pro 400, which is a very popular machine and has done tremendously well. People love its compact size and its approachability. It's priced very competitively and it really makes fantastic coffee. The additional features of the Profitec Jump over the 400 are the digital display that acts as a shot timer as well. It features joystick style steam and hot water valves that are instant on and instant off. It has the wooden accents, so the portafilter handle and the steam and hot water knobs are in a nice walnut finish. And also the body is brushed as opposed to, it's a brushed stainless steel as opposed to a chrome. I personally think that this is a very handsome machine. It certainly is one of my favorites in the Profitec lineup. The Jump is a very compact machine. It's designed to fit into all kinds of spaces. The dimensions of the machine are, it's 22.8 centimeters or 9 inches wide. The depth is 44.8 centimeters or 17.6 inches. And the height is 37.2 centimeters or 14.6 inches. So that height is quite low, should fit under most cabinets and really into any space. The weight of the Profitec Jump is 21.5 kilograms, which is 47.4 pounds. So let me discuss some of the features of the Profitec Jump. On the inside, the machine has a heat exchanger boiler. And what a heat exchanger allows us to do is to brew coffee and froth at the same time. There's no downtime in between each function. So if you like milk-based drinks, heat exchangers are always a great choice. The machine uses a vibration pump, although on the Jump, the vibration pump actually is quite quiet, quieter I think than on many machines, and we'll see that when we're brewing coffee. The water tank is just up here, and you just can lift up your cup tray by the rail, and we have a nice large water tank that's open. We pour our water from our water source, or this can be pulled up, and you can remove that tank and just bring it to your water source as well. At the top of the machine, we also see an adjustment screw, and that's actually the overpressure valve. So we can adjust the overpressure valve without having to open the machine. As I mentioned in the introduction, the machine does have the joystick style steam and hot water ones, which are instant on and instant off. I can put this into any position, locks in any position, whether I go left, right, up, or down. And again, I just put that to the middle position to turn it off. The same is true on the hot water side. On the left-hand side here, we have the display. And what this display does, first of all, acts as a shot timer when we're brewing coffee, which is a very useful feature. But it also gives us information, as we change certain parameters and variables with the machine. Below that, we have a double gauge. So this is a double manometer. The top half measures the pressure inside the boiler, and the bottom half measures our extraction pressure. So the extraction pressure only matters when we're actually brewing coffee, and the top half, of course, is our steam power that's inside the boiler. Another cool feature that the Jump has is underneath the drip tray, there's a little cutout where we can stick our blind basket. I've got mine in there right there. Blind basket's important. It's important to backflush your machine every 100, 150 drinks or so. A clean machine will make better coffee, and backflushing is an essential part of your maintenance. So we have this little storage area. You can use that for your blind or for another size basket, whatever you like. The Profitec Jump is based on an E61 Group Head. I do want to point out one aesthetic change that Profitec does to the Group Head, and that's this part up here. We call this kind of the mushroom. That's where the flow restrictor is. A lot of machines have this two-piece kind of screw, which is not as aesthetically pleasing as this kind of low-profile design. I think Profitec has done a really good job on that. Now, the way we control the temperature on this machine is with a 3-position switch that's located on the right side of the machine underneath. We have a rocker switch that can go to the middle position or towards you or away from you. Those are positions 1, 2, and 3. Position 1 is closest to the front of the machine, and position 3 is furthest away from the machine, towards the back of the machine. Each one of those positions represents a particular temperature inside the boiler. Position 1 is 120 degrees Celsius, and that's inside the boiler. That will yield a corresponding temperature in the group of approximately 90 degrees Celsius. Position 2 it raises the temperature to 124 degrees Celsius inside the boiler, 94 degrees at the group. And position 3, it's 128 degrees inside the boiler or 98 at the group. Now for most roasts of espresso, I'm going to recommend brewing at either position 1 or 2. Position 3 is going to be quite hot, but what position 3 gives us the ability to do, it gives us a more steaming power, because of course the higher the temperature inside the boiler, the higher our pressure is going to be. So this switch is just right here. I currently have it in position 1, and you can see I have 120 there, but if I raise it to position 2, it goes to 124. It'll take a couple of, well, it shouldn't take too long, just maybe a few seconds. You'll see it raise the temperature, and the corresponding pressure inside my boiler is going to increase as well. The 3-position switch on the side of the machine is also how we change some of the parameters on this machine. I'm not going to go into the details in this video, but the Profitec Jump has things like Eco Mode, which can be turned on and off. Eco Mode is a power savings mode that after the machine has been on for a certain amount of time and it's not used, it turns it off to conserve power. The switch can also be used to switch the machine from degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit, and also to turn pre-infusion on and off. I will be making one shot with pre-infusion when I begin brewing, so I will show you how to do that as well. So now let's see the machine in action. And I'm going to be brewing 2 shots of espresso, and I'm using one of our coffees from doTERRA Farms, which is Sweet Blue. I actually prefer a slightly lower temperature for this coffee. So I'm going to turn the machine to position 1 to reduce the brewing temperature to 90 degrees Celsius, because I think it works better with this particular coffee. Alongside the Jump, I'm using the new Profitec Twist grinder. This is a nice compact grinder. It's a time-based grinder. So I'm grinding about 18 grams of coffee, and I have it set to 9.5 seconds, 9.5 seconds. Just go over here. This is a Profitec tamping stand. This is an optional accessory. It's not included with the machine. One thing Profitec does include is this tamper. This is a very decent tamper. It's got a nice feeling handle, stainless steel base that is included inside the box. I'm showing here the upgraded tamper. So this is an optional accessory where you have a sturdier base, and you can also get the matching walnut wood. That's also available on our website, idrinkcoffee.com. However, for this particular extraction, I'm going to be using my favorite tamper, and that's the Puck Press Mini. Gives me a perfect tamp every time. Nice and level and very simple. So I put the brew lever in the top position, and you can see that first, of course, my shot timer begins to measure the time of my shot. It counts up. And the bottom gauge also, the pressure increases. We're at 9 bars, so I know this espresso is going to be properly brewed. Just going to stop it right there. And my 2 shots of espresso are ready to enjoy. And just take a look at how lovely that looks. Yeah, just a great looking espresso, and I absolutely love these brewer's cups from Loveramics. They are just lovely, especially in this blue. It's one of my favorite cups. That is sensational tasting coffee. The next drink that I'm going to make is going to be a latte, and I'm also using a Loveramics egg cup. This is the 300 milliliter, which is the largest one. And I'm going to be brewing my coffee and steaming at the same time, frothing my milk at the same time. And of course, I am using the Profitec branded pitcher, which is also an optional accessory. First, I will just purge any excess water that's in my steam wand. That's always good practice. And then begin brewing and frothing. Now, the one downside of having it in position 1 is, of course, it has the least amount of steaming power at this temperature. So it does take a little bit longer to froth milk. In the second position, I have more steaming power kind of inside my boiler, so it would go a little bit faster. So I'm going to stop my shot there, and I just got to continue my frothing here just to get my milk warmed up. Then we just add our milk to the coffee. And we have a latte that is ready to enjoy. Lovely. So for my final drink, I'm going to make an Americano, and I want to show you how to turn the pre-infusion on. So I'm going to do it with pre-infusion. So the way we do that is we turn the machine off. Then we put the switch into the middle position, which is position 2. We lift the brew lever. It's normal to get water to come out of there. That's the water, if this machine was hot, that's water that's inside kind of the system, the thermosiphon, so it's normal for some water to drip out. I'm going to turn the machine on now, and you're going to see a PI there. That stands for pre-infusion. To turn it on, I put the switch into position 1, closest to me. If I want to turn it off, I would put it into position 3, which is the position away from me. So I'm going to put it towards me, position 1, and then I'm going to go back to the middle position. And you can see it's on now. I'm going to lower the lever, and then the machine will go back into normal operating mode, and I will now have pre-infusion. Of course, after I did this, I had that lever up. I just want to refill the boiler, and I can show you how the pre-infusion works. We have 5 seconds, and it counts down from 5 to 0, and then it pauses for a couple of seconds, and then it begins extracting. But really, the reason I did that is just to refill that circuit, because otherwise my shot would be affected. So now with pre-infusion on, I'm going to make my Americano. I like to do my Americanos water first, so I'm just going to put some water into my cup. That sound is the pump coming on. It's just refilling the boiler. That, of course, is entirely normal. I've already ground and tamped my coffee, and I just extract. And again, we have that 5-second pre-infusion, the pause, and then it begins extracting. Pre-infusion is generally a positive. It usually does have a positive effect on the coffee. Makes things a little bit more forgiving, because you put a small amount of water into the puck before subjecting it to the full pressure of the pump. And I'll stop it right there. You can see the Americano looks really spectacular, and the reason I like to do my Americanos water first is because, you know, the crema rests on top, gives us a nice presentation. Profitec is a brand that we have been partnered with for a very long time now. We've been dealing direct with the company in Heidelberg, Germany for well over 10 years. It's also become one of our best-selling brands, and the reason for that is that Profitec is a company that continues to innovate. They're always innovating in design, making their machines look very attractive, and also adding features. The Profitec Jump is a great example of that. This machine is priced, I think, very well for the compact segment. It looks fantastic, it's jam-packed with features, and it's at an approachable price. This machine is capable of really bringing the cafe home. You can make cafe quality drinks in the comfort of your own home with a Profitec Jump. Just pair it with a nice grinder like the Twist, and you're ready to go. If you have any questions about the Profitec Jump, about the Profitec Twist, the Puck Press Mini, any one of our products, please feel free to reach out to idrinkcoffee.com. We're here to help. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this about espresso machines, about coffee machines, coffee grinders, everything to do with coffee. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.